behind me. I promise.
Professor, what did you mean when you said your education wasn't traditional?
I had bet myself a butterbeer you'd be back to ask about that. It seems I've earned myself a trip to the Three Broomsticks. My father insisted rather adamantly that fun had no place when it came to learning. I struggled with his rather Socratic method of teaching, made no progress with even the simplest spells until I made a game of it. As the process itself became a source of joy, I was able to better retain what I was being taught. I realized then how much fun was to be had in learning, and I decided to become a professor so that I may pass that joy along.
I, for one, am glad. I very much enjoy your class.
Delighted to hear. Now, I shall not keep you from your studies, nor time with your fellow students, both of which are invaluable to your education.
Oh, someone prodded a Mimbless Mimbletonia in the common room. Stink sap everywhere. I'm avoiding it entirely until they or the house elves clean it up.
Try.
I wonder. It's brilliant.
Would like to talk with you when you have a moment.
Hello, Deek. Professor Weasley said you wanted to tell me more about the loom.
Ah, hello. Yes, about that. Deek has had a thought. He... Seems the room thinks you need more space for your beasts. as Deek was saying, he's had a thought. Now, Deek knows how you can test the item of clothing that you enhanced in the enchanted loom. And perhaps help an old friend in the process.
What do you mean?
A house elf named Tobbs works for his master, retrieving leech juice in a cave near Hogwarts. Tobbs' master doesn't let him leave the cave, and Deek knows the cave is infested with spiders.
That sounds awful.
It is. Deek hasn't heard from his friend for a while now. As the item you wove in the loom has an enchantment that might be useful, Deek thought you could test it whilst checking on Tobbs.
I understand. Leave it to me, Deek. I'll find Tobbs for you.
Oh, thank you. Please let Deek know what you learn about Deek's old friend.
Revelio. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
Deek thinks you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
Professor, do you have a moment?
I do.
May I ask what attracted you to astronomy?
You may. Might I assume from your inquiry that you wonder how anyone may have an interest in astronomy?
Oh, not at all, Professor. I find it intriguing and wanted to know more about your work.
Ah, that is good to hear. So often those who do not fully understand all that can be gleaned from the stars question astronomy's relevance. Misperceptions frequently arise due to the confusion of astronomy with astrology, the ridiculousness of which I shall not deign to discuss. To answer your question, it was my dear sister who first sparked my interest in stargazing. The two of us spent countless nights on our rooftops staring at the cosmos. It was one of the only subjects we could study together.
I'm not sure I follow, Professor. Why was that?
My sister is a squib. Clever, hard-working, and generous, but a squib nonetheless. The only non-magical child born to our family in generations, poor thing. Although she manages exceptionally well.
It sounds as if she's a lovely person and accomplished.
She is. And to her credit, while she was once disappointed not to attend Hogwarts, she has excelled in Muggle school. One of the first women, we suspect, to have attended Cambridge, well disguised at the time by our mother as a gentleman scholar. And as astronomy is one subject shared between the Muggle world and ours, she and I have been able to maintain that common interest. We still sneak up to a rooftop now and then to gaze upwards, courtesy of a levitation charm rather than a trellis nowadays.
Thank you for telling me about your sister, Professor.
I was glad to. It is good to be reminded of all that one can accomplish when one embraces who one is. Now off you go. I am sure you've a star chart to review somewhere.
Aloha, Mora.
How nice to see you, my young friend. Our neighbor at home knows someone who's related to the inventor of Skelegro. It's true. Limfred of Stinchcombe his name was.
I've learned almost all of the Goblin rebellions off by heart. You can test me. Go on, test me. When I fell off my broom and broke my bone.
Hello there.
Hello, Amit. Do I recall you saying that you speak gobbledygook?
I did. I do. Speak it. Is this to do with the goblin I saw you with in Hogsmeade?
It is. His name is Lodgok. We could use your help with something. He's waiting for me near a goblin mine. Would you be willing to help?
Of course. How exciting. Well, might this be dangerous?
I think he simply wants to show me something that involves gobbledygook. If it helps, he's a friend of Sirona's.
Good to hear. Good to hear. If Sirona trusts him, then I feel much better.
Have you ever spoken directly to a goblin?
Unbelievably, no. I'm so looking forward to it. Actually conversing in gobbledygook with a native speaker. Cannot wait to confirm subtle bits of pronunciation and tone that may have eluded me, being self-taught and all.
You said you know gobbledygook, but how well?
I've been reading it for as long as I've been reading English. My parents have an extensive library. Once I grew bored with the classics, I devoured goblin writings. I'd tell you some titles, but you wouldn't understand them.
Lodgok is waiting. Shall we go?
Of course. I just want to check the pronunciation of a couple of key terms first. So I will meet you there.
would I want... I used to enjoy flying, but there are so many rules now.
I practice doing them.
Revelio.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Aloha Mora.